If my videos are helping you and if you want to support back, you can do it by clicking the subscribe button. You can leave a thumbs up, but rather than giving a thumbs down, you can just leave a comment and tell me what you didn't like or what I did wrong. I will try to attempt to disassemble the engine block of this Kawasaki. The good thing about this bike, I guess, in my opinion, the engine block is used in several motorcycles of Kawasaki, so I think it's a benefit. Maybe the age is a drawback, we will see. And it will be a series of videos. If you're interested, there is a petrol tank back there. It's completely rusted inside, so we will be removing rust with chemicals, hydrochloric acid, and we will try to use a liner to coat the internals. It will be a separate video if you're interested, so keep an eye on the channel if you want. One thing, I was having problem with draining the radiator fluid. There is a drain plug here, and when I attempted to drain it, nothing was draining. So what I realized that it was blocked with debris, so when you poke it, it starts to flow. I prepared the bike prior to take the engine out, and I will start from this side. We have our ignition coil, the cup for the spark plug. Of course, I take it out and unbolt it. It holds here, and I put the bolt back on, not to lose it, and don't hang it from the cables, it's a bit fragile. The next thing I did, undo the hoses, and there is this clip here, and then I just undo both and try to remove it away from me. And we have our exhausts here. Usually these models have two separate exhausts, but this one is a bit modified, it has only one. It seemed to me that I need to remove the radiator, but I was able to reach these bolts with an extension, and with a long extension, and with a joint that moves from all directions. So I was able to go through these openings to get these bolts. So it is not tight at all. So you can just remove it from here. And next thing I can tell, of course, I removed the clutch cable, and I don't know which side I would like to remove it, so I also undo this rear brake. It has two bolts here, one here, one here. From this side I can say also that you need to remove this air and carburetor assemblies also. Air assembly, you have these side covers, you need to get the screws out, and these come out. And for the screws, I either leave them on if I can, or I have these bags written which screw belongs to where. And yeah, as I said, you take this side cover, and from the top you obviously need to remove these carburetor and air assembly. To be able to do that, first you need to get the fuel tank, whatever, it's already out. There is this fuse box, it has a bolt here. You take that bolt, and it has a notch, I don't know what it's called. You take it out like that, and then there is the battery beneath. It's already gone, but it's easy to take out. And then the next thing you can do is another side box here. Let me get a bit more light, yeah. And then you also remove it. It has screws, blah blah. And then now you can pull this out. It only is held by its place with these manifolds, and then you can push it back, and then you can get the carburetors out if you undo these. And of course you undo the carburetor cables and the throttle cables. I don't mention them, and yeah, you get rid of them. Here we have also hoses for coolant system. We also remove it by removing these clips or whatever they're called. And yeah, some electrical work we need to do. We take the cables, and every cable I marked. It's in my language, but it's for the starting motor. And yeah, it's the alternator cables. We have some sensors for the neutral and stuff. And yeah, mark them and remove them. And from here there is this cover, which is held by 4 bolts. I remove them. One of the sensors, as you can see here, for the clutch. And I also remove the side stands. I don't know, maybe it will block me. It's just held by its place, so very weakly. I will just remove it quickly. But the next thing I did, I removed gear lever. It has a bolt here
There's a bolt here. When you unscrew it, you can just pull it from this shaft and you can put it aside. There is also the soil. I also take it apart. The bolt is here. And from this side, I also, while the bike is on, I wanted to undo this bolt because it's easier while the tire is connected to the sprocket. And do I need to tell anything else from this side? I don't know. Last thing is the chain. This chain has a master link somewhere here. You can get the master link, but what I did, I will show you. You can either use that master link to get the chain off of the bike to be able to get it. You can also remove the sprocket. It's up to you. I undo these bolts and push the tire as front as possible, and then when you do that, you can get the chain to the side, to the off center of this teeth, and then when you push it, you can force, not really forcing, but you can make the chain come off. My friend realized that there are some bolts here, enables you to get this bar out of the frame. I already undo. I also take this bolt out, but it's fairly easy, so I'm not including that. So when you take these bolts off, let's take this first one, and let's take this also. You will quickly see that you will have a window to get the engine out of the frame much more easily, or maybe even that's the only possible way to get it completely off of the bike. We have this forklift, makes stuff much easier because we're able to lift these blocks from below. But if I didn't have that, it would be still much more easier. I will just add these blocks underneath to lift the engine enough so to make these bolts play freely. So as you can see, I can just push them in and out with the push of my finger. One thing is you need to lift these level, because then if you don't, then these bolts, either one or either up either down, they stuck. If you lift them parallel to the floor, then you can free them both together. I needed to lift the engine because the cap of the engine on this side, the alternator cap, was hitting the frame, so I needed to lift it a bit and angle it from this side to be able to free it from the back. So it was still not enough to have it on the forklift, but it makes it easier to pull it off. But if I can show you, you can actually lift the engine with your own force. It's not so heavy, but if you have any problems with your back, don't do it.